Hi, my name is Caitlin Windsor. I'm a second year MOT student at Radford University Carilion in Roanoke, Virginia. Today I'll be presenting a case study I completed on a woman named Maggie. Maggie was born on October 1st, 1959, which makes her 61 years old, and she was brought into an outpatient clinic due to a reduced range of motion in her shoulder, where she cannot flex beyond 25 degrees and she cannot extend beyond. She also stated that this pain has intensified due to a recent Colles fracture that she got 6 weeks ago in a motor vehicle accident. She also suffers from 3 other diagnoses that include fibromyalgia, diverticulitis, and alcohol abuse. Fibromyalgia is a musculoskeletal disorder that affects the whole body. It causes stiffness, pain, fatigue, lack of sleep, and a change in mood. For Maggie, it has done all of these things, and it really impacts her neck, her upper back, and her shoulders. Another diagnosis she suffers from is diverticulitis, which has caused her extreme abdominal pain. Maggie also suffers from alcohol abuse due to her fibromyalgia, where she has been using it as a coping mechanism. Maggie's list of strengths include her support system involving her family, friends, and husband. It also includes her goals that she wants to achieve in order to be able to get back to where she used to be. Her list of weaknesses include her use of alcohol, her Colles fracture currently, her 2-story house, and her wanting to get better, but she is very doubtful. Now, her interests include spending time with her grandchildren, crocheting for her granddaughter, planting, cooking, attending church, going out to drink with family or friends, and watching TV every night with a glass of wine. She also enjoys getting a good night's sleep, but lately this has not been occurring for her. Her dislikes include not being able to pick up her grandchildren, feeling of boredom, being in constant pain, having to rely on others, not being able to cook and just having to tell what her husband should do, and going to therapy. So now I'll be discussing this case study in terms of Moho. Maggie used to be a very independent woman who lived her own life as well as her husband did, and they always came back together at night. She was a pharmacy technician and he was a contractor. In the early stages of her diagnosis, she had a difficult time adjusting to her new normal, which resulted in her drinking a lot. This eventually led to her license getting taken away because of several DUIs. Due to the persistent pain and stiffness, both her and her husband had to retire from their jobs, and he had to help her with all of her daily routines. Losing her independence has really taken a toll on Maggie's mental health, as she constantly feels like a burden and useless. Maggie's values really are revolving around relationships and quality time with her family and friends. Before her diagnosis of fibromyalgia, she valued her independence greatly. She used to value her church community as a whole, but has now found herself angry with God and resentful towards Him. Being able to see her grandchildren on the weekends was also something she greatly valued, and it really is what got her through the week. For Maggie's interest, she enjoyed crocheting with her friends. She often made things for her grandchildren, and she used to love cooking for her husband, attending church, picking up her grandchildren and dancing with them, and planting. Currently, Maggie does not feel like she can participate in any of these activities she used to enjoy. One thing Maggie has always enjoyed is watching TV shows or movies, as it is an escape from reality. Although she wants to get better, she is doubtful of any type of help, and she has been disliking therapy sessions. Maggie's habits used to include hanging things up on high shelves, such as a bath towel, a robe, or her keys. But now, because she cannot flex or extend her shoulder too much, she keeps them on lower tables and lower hooks. Before her persistent pain, she would get ingredients out as needed, just kind of dancing around the kitchen as she went along. But now she really has to plan out what she needs her husband to take out and what she would need from the grocery store. She can no longer just run errands or anything like that due to her fatigue. When she starts to feel pain, she has gotten in the habit of immediately taking a muscle relaxer or pouring a glass of wine. Maggie's roles include being a wife, mother, grandmother, friend, and churchgoer. Her role as a churchgoer has diminished since her diagnosis and her new feelings towards her religion. However, she has still kept very close contact with her friends from church and sees them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when they go out to eat. She feels like she's not doing a good job at her other roles due to the constant pain and fatigue she suffers from. Before, Maggie was able to go out with her grandchildren on the weekends, to go hiking, to the park, to go to libraries or museums. She could pick them up and dance with them, push them on the swing, and chase them around. Now Maggie is unable to do any of those things or go out for long periods of time. Her view of her role as a wife and mother has also diminished because they are now the ones taking care of her. So Maggie's performance capacity really resides within her motor skills. She has no impairments cognitively or any impairments with process skills. She is anxious and unmotivated to participate in any type of therapy. She is often in extreme pain, with her main areas affected being her neck, upper back, and shoulders. Her right arm is also in extreme pain from the recent callus fracture. She cannot flex her shoulder beyond 25 degrees or extend beyond 10 degrees. Although she wants to improve her motor skills, she feels like there's nothing anyone can do. She fatigues easily within 15 minutes of activity, and she would rather walk slowly and do things her way rather than using a walker or a wheelchair, which she does have both of. Her performance capacity has greatly impacted her habitual and volitional subsystems. Now moving on to her external subsystems. For her physical environment, she resides in a 2-story home with a total of 5 steps to the entrance. There are 11 steps to the second floor, but the master is on the first floor and has a walk-in shower already. It also has a shower chair inside for her. She rarely goes upstairs because of how easily fatigued she gets, and there's really nothing up there for her to begin with. There is also an outside porch with easy access from the house, and it also has all of her potted plants there too for the mornings. Socially, Maggie mainly hung around her family and church group before her diagnoses. On Tuesday and Thursday, she would often go visit her church friends on her lunch break who were volunteering and bring them snacks. Now she sees them on days that she has therapy when they meet up for lunch. She had coworkers at her pharmacy tech job that she really enjoyed, but she no longer sees them unless she goes to that pharmacy. This has taken a big part of Maggie's interaction out of her life. So, based on Maggie's dislikes, likes, and diagnoses, I compiled a list of 5 different goals. The first goal is client will complete a total of 30 minutes of low-impact exercise 3 times a week with only 2 breaks, alongside a partner or individually by September 15, 2020. The second goal is client will independently cook dinner consisting of 3 items 2 times a week with only 1 being prepared already, such as cut potatoes, pre-sliced meat, or a bag of salad by September 28th, 2020. My third goal is client will independently brush her own hair 5 times a week using an adaptive brush by September 30th, 2020, and that is included in my activities below. The fourth goal is client will demonstrate proper body mechanics needed to pick up her grandchildren by August 30th, 2020. The fifth goal is client will use a positive coping mechanism in 50% of the occurrences of pain with only 1 verbal cue by October 5th, 2020. So the first activity I have for Maggie is a cooking activity, and this is for the cooking goal that I curated. So the client will get out all tools, including a cutting board, chopping knife, peeler, and 2 bowls, and materials of a cucumber, a red pepper, and a carrot. With her back against the chair and her head straight up while sitting at a leveled countertop or a table, she will peel the cucumber over a bowl and then cut it, and then take a break and then cut the other vegetables. Then transfer them to the bowl to give to her husband. This is something that she once enjoyed doing as she was the main cook in the family. Not being able to do this has really impacted her mood. Getting slowly back into cooking will provide a sense of purpose. Sitting while demonstrating correct posture can help relieve pain and conserve energy. This also would not exert as much energy on the shoulder, and using a glove or a grip for the hand that's splinted could be useful if the vegetables are hard to grip. The second activity I have is creating a longer brush handle so Maggie can use this in the mornings when brushing her own hair. This also has to go with a goal of mine that I included. So for this, all you'd have to do is locate a very sturdy hanger. A wooden one is probably the most sturdiest, but others could be used as well. They'll just might be a little bit more flexible. Now, all you would do is take a brush and duct tape it to the end of a wooden hanger, and then you have a hairbrush extender. I think this would be really good for her to feel like she's gaining back some of her independence. And also, it would be good in the shower if she would like to brush out the soap and feel like she's doing a little bit more of her routine. So the third activity I have is swimming, and it's really water aerobics, I would say, and this has to do with Maggie's needing to exercise. I've included a video of two other members who are participating in water aerobics with me, and so Maggie could do this with friends, family, or by herself with an eye watching her, of course. And she would stand in water up to her shoulders or up to her neck, and it would be really useful if she used warm water or such as a hot tub, because that would be able to help with any joint or shoulder muscle stiffness. And in the water, she would have some 2-pound weights and be able to perform stretches of her shoulders and neck. And she'd be able to do the neck motions with a slight bend of the knee if she's a little bit too tall. And these exercises that are being used must be approved by an OT. It's a great low-impact exercise, and the water's buoyancy can alleviate stress on the body, while the warm water can help reduce stiffness. There's a lesser chance of her falling, and certain exercises can help her focus on breathing and relaxing. This can also help with her gaining back muscle strength.
It's a good workout.
I can feel it.